Hi guys, welcome back to Ingman's YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed the last video. We really did. Tried to mix it up a little bit by doing a heavy duty men's vibrant sole on some Red Wings, and then obviously we went to the other end of the spectrum. We went with a sandal, a lady's sandal, just to show you variation. In one aspect, we're going to do that again a little bit today because a friend of mine has asked me, who lives nearby, who's a chef. He's asked me if I can make him a knife roll, and I've got a passion for cooking myself, so I'm really going to enjoy doing that for him. But what we're doing today is an actual YouTube subscriber has bought these triggers off of eBay, and he's paid £50 for them. These shoes are worth £465, that's the retail value. And what he wants us to do, he wants us to customise them, to bespoke them, how, you know, to his given specification. So what we're doing is we're going to convert the day-night soles, and he's done his research, this guy. He wants JR soles, so we're going to convert them to leather. He wants JR heels, but he wants the soles dyeing red, so we're going to dye those red for him. Also, what he wants is he wants us to put some contrasting stitching as well. So we're going to do blue to go against the red sole, and then on the top we're going to go red at the top, which will be a really nice effect. Brass eyelets on these particular triggers, quite unique, suede and leather. You know, it's not the standard combo for triggers. But he also wants a brass toe plate, and he specifically asked for brass, not steel. You can't actually buy solid brass toe plates. There's some called Triumph toe plates, but I do think they scuff off to silver. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually make him some out of brass, and put our logo on it as well, hopefully. And we've also got brass screws, because there's no point putting steel screws into a brass plate because they wear at different rates. Basically, that's what we're going to do today. Probably can see the knives. You've had a shot of the knives, but we're going to talk about the design of the knife roll in a few minutes. Okay guys, thanks for joining us. Should be a really great project. We're filming it over 2 days, so hope it all goes well. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Okay, we're in the workshop, so we're going to start stripping these down, take the day nights off. I suppose this is a boring bit, but we have to do it so that we can get to the exciting stuff. So we're going to start and strip it down. Okay, cheers guys. These are so tough to strip down. These are that well made. It just takes so much stripping down. It's testimony to the quality of triggers. Oldest shoemaker in the country. They've just done the heritage style video promoting their 193rd year in business. It's a fantastic video. We put it on our Facebook channel the other day. They've allowed us to use it, so it's really good.
Hey lads, you alright?
Hey, you alright?
Full of gold.
Oh, brilliant.
See you later.
Cheers, mate. So we're filming today, not on a Sunday. Usually it's Sunday, so we decided to do it on a weekday. So we're going to get some natural interruption. Customers, postman, just then. So it's a bit more real life today. Also got a new cobbler's working last. It's AJ Key Samson, really quite rare. I'm lucky to get it. It's fantastic. So it pivots all the way 360, and you can adjust size. It's got different lasts. So it's a really nice piece of kit. leather stacked heels are really hard to get off off a day knife. It must be something to do with kinetic energy. It creates rubber when you try and break it away. It must bounce back. You can see we have to be quite rough. There we go. Okay, heel off. Just broke the pins away. So now I'm just going to move on to the scouring machine like we normally do. Just break all the stitches, take that sole off, and then we take the stitches out. Okay. Right, so we've just tried to speed the stripping down process up a bit. You saw me breaking the stitches on the machine. What we've done is we've pulled the day night sole off, and then we've taken the stitches out. Because it's Monday and it's not Sunday, we've got many hands today, so we can speed things up a little bit. So we're going to put the JR sole on, which is part of the spec, and then we'll stitch it on. So we'll show you what we're doing as regards the different colour stitching. That should be interesting, with one on top and the different colour underneath. And then once we've done that, no, actually, when it's on, we'll dye it red and then we'll stitch it, because we've got blue contrasting coming through, and we don't want that, you know, disturbing. So we'll start gluing up. So this will have a different look when this shoe's completed, because obviously we're going from the chunky day night to a more elegant leather sole, but because it's a tricker and it's a storm welt and it's got a middle sole, it'll still have a chunky element to it, but it'll look a little bit more dressy. And with us putting that bit of finesse in with the colours and the brass toe plates, it will look the complete opposite to when it came in. The uppers are in really good condition, so there's not much renovation needs doing there. The gentleman bought them really well, in really good nick. So just a little talk to you about the outcome. Oh, we want some red laces as well, so we've got to order some red laces from Trickers. But this project is going to cost £170. So he'll have a pair of Trickers for £230, which, like I say, they retail at £465, and he's going to have them exactly how he wants them, so it'll be a good result for him. Right, we'll have to let that dry, and then we'll continue. Okay, so we put some shape into the leather sole. We're now going to put that on. Pre-cut the sole, so this is quite tricky. Make sure everything's even. It's looking good. So initially we shall gently tap this on. And then we'll go over to the press. Press it. Okay, great. That's all on nicely. Okay, so we're now going to put it onto the press, and as you can see, we've got a nice wide shape there that replicates the Tricker shape. There's £70 per square inch going to be pressed onto that equally, and that'll just make sure it's all uniformed and flat underneath. So we'll get that on now. Just that. So that force applied there is, you know, greater than anything that we can achieve by hand. So that's then what we'll do is we'll take it over to the, my bench, and we'll just press this bit here with a hand tool that just puts the same kind of shape in. But like I say, at the front there, you need that pressed to just get that nice even pressure. Okay, we'll move along to the bench. Okay, so we'll use the new piece of equipment. Well, it's not new; it's really old. It's an antique, really. But what it allows us to do is to change the shape, the size, the length. So I'll just pull this back. So now that's more secure onto the last. And then this is we've used this before, and we can get a lot of pressure on these points here. So we'll put a bit of shape into it. So basically, it's an iron for the sole. All traditional tools, and they're fantastic. You can't replicate these. I like working with a traditional. If you're going to do a traditional job, I think you need traditional tools and traditional methods, and that's what we try and do, so that we get it as authentic as a repair as we can. So when customer gets it back, everything pitches right, the balance is right, it feels right inside for him. When he puts his shoe back on, it should feel stouter, stronger, but it should still feel its shape to his foot. And that's the beauty of Goodyear welted shoes. You impregnate your foot shape into the insole, and that's what keeps them comfortable all the time, and that's what makes them really ultimately repairable. Right, so I'm happy with that. So now the next stage is to trim all these round. We'll go round on the welt roller, so that basically pinches the sole to the welt. We'll go round on that, and then we'll trim it round, and then we'll groove it. Okay. Okay, so we've got the brass, we've put some shape into it, angle wise, but now we've got to put some curvature into it, so that it fits onto the sole. So basically we're just going to gently hammer it so that we get a little bit of shape. Don't worry about all these marks that are going to be on it, because we're going to get rid of all that. So it's a little bit trial and error. That's good. And then we can, that's going to fit in nicely, so we can now cut the lines, and then we can recess the leather so that it's flush, it countersinks into it. But just got to make sure that I'm happy with the angles on that, and that's going to be fine. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the lines so that I'm cutting round that object there, so that if I cut the lines true, which I'm aiming to do, that means that that will fit in. If I draw a line round this and then cut it, there's a chance that there'll be a tolerance, and I want it to fit really snug as if it was like made in there. Okay, wish me luck. There we are. So now we're going to literally chisel this out. Seems a bit strange, but tried a few different methods, and this way seems to work best of all. So just get the lines done. Parameters really. So, and then we can start and take more body out of it. Just going to tighten that up actually, so it's not moving about. So it's just less is more, gentle. Don't want to make any mistakes at this point. So brass is about 2 mil, so we've got to countersink this to that level, and then when we clean the brass up, we'll take that down a little bit. So we just got to take this down to just over 2 mil. Okay, right, so leather sole's on, nice shape into it. We've put you saw us putting the groove in. We've recessed the leather, also grooved, and shaped this piece of brass, so that now fits in there really snug. I'm very happy with that. So we can now dye the soles and then stitch them on, but I'm just gonna let the heel in so we get a really nice joint on that before we dye it. Right, okay, so we'll scour that and then we'll set the dye up for dyeing the sole. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to dye these soles red. So this is a base colour from Saphir, just the base red. so many coats. It's nice. Show some different projects. This is not a standard repair by any means. Few elements to it that are yeah, just a bit different. So that's why we thought it'd be nice to show this one. We will polish these soles as well. That'll help blend in the colours. So it's fantastic dye and it's fantastic leather, so it's usually quite streak free. Okay, so we've dyed the sole. We're going to let that dry a little bit more, but in the meantime we've shaped the brass as we've said. I've covered that with masking tape for a reason, so we're now going to mark where I'm going to put the holes, drill the holes, and then I'm going to countersink them. But what I'll do is I'll take that masking tape off and I'll put it onto the other piece of brass so that I know I've got the holes in the same place. Okay, so the bygone days, machines used to run with hot wax running through them, and the threads used to go through pots. Nowadays the threads have changed, they've got more advanced and they're stronger, but this one, so we run them differently through the machine, so we have to set the tensions different. But because these are waxed, we just have to de-wax them a little bit so that they run through the machine smooth, and it just helps us get the tensions the same. So that's why we're just doing this simple operation. Hi guys, so Brian wants a knife roll making. Brian taught me a new dish the other day. I'm quite an Italian influence in my cooking. He taught me a Jamaican dish, saltfish ackee, and he pretty much let me do it in his kitchen, which was fantastic. But this is Chef Brian.
Hi guys.
And he's going to sort of talk me through what he'd like with this knife roll.
So I need a knife roll, Andy.
Yeah.
So protect these knives are a timeline of my life. This one's 44 years old.
Wow.
This was a wedding present 30 years ago. Each one tells a story. They're all very precious to me.
Yeah.
My nephew's just starting in the business, so it'd be really nice to be able to hand these on to him.
Fantastic.
So I want an heirloom quality knife roll that I can give to him one day.
Yeah.
And he can carry on the family tradition.
Fantastic. Right, okay, so quite a lot of responsibility there. but we like the challenge. So what I'm going to do for Brian is, because he's trading his chef skills for me and bringing me on, we're going to make him this knife roll as a gift, and now it's got some sentiment attached to it, which is great. So me and Brian are going to design it to suit the knives, because they're all different styles, but the paramount thing is that we make sure these blades are protected and safe to transit around. So what we'll do is we'll take some stills. We're not actually running a video on it because Brian's going to help me make it, because that's what he'd like to do, and so we'll take some stills as we go along, but the finished result we'll show you on the next video. But yeah, just want to say thank you to Brian for giving me the opportunity to do this. Okay, thanks ever so much, guys.
Good morning, Ingmans. Oh, hello. Villa, you're bloody holding production up here, you know. We're trying to film here, you know. We're stars.
Welcome back. It's part 2 of the video. We got to last time putting the soles on, stitching them on, recessing for the toe plates that we made. We've now had them engraved with the Ingman's logo, so it looks really cool. So now we're just going to pick up, put the heel stacks on, and yeah, just finish the project off, and we'll show them both to you. Okay, thanks very much. Thank you. So just put a first layer on, as you know, goes into the fibres. We'll let that dry. And then we'll just do the same for the toe plates. Say that'll just seal the fibres up underneath that we've exposed. And it'll just seat it down nicely for us to screw it on. Right, that's great. Okay, so we're just going to put the heel back on. Just laying the stitches on that area, tapping them down. Heel block, heel stack, back on. Right, so we've put the heel on, glued it on, so now we're going to second fix it, putting the nails in. Really good tool. We'll attach it. Makes light work doing this. You can do it by hand, in the sense of with a hammer. We've got hammers that we use, but it's just that little bit quicker. And you tend to get it right first time. Sometimes with a hammer you hit it at the wrong angle and it bends. Okay, we're just going to put the top piece on. Nice even pressure. That's it. Hi guys, got the brass toe plates shaped, engraved and drilled, so now I'm just going to show you. We're going to attach it to the shoes. Alright, I've just started, so I'll just finish it off for you. think these are tiniest brass screws in the world. Took me a long time to source them. We'll just have to polish it up afterwards. Should be going nowhere. Right, so just want a final polish, and then we just got to work on the uppers a little bit. Just give them a little polish, but the uppers are really good. I've got trimmed the brass round there, put a new seat socks in, and hopefully the laces will have arrived from Trickers. Okay, so we've got heel stack on, top piece on, all dyed, trimmed round. So now we've got. I like to buy traditional tools, wear them whenever I can. When I saw some on the antique markets or on the internet on eBay, but this basically is a traditional tool, and it marks out the spaces accurately for when you're putting brass tacks in by hand. And it just makes sure you get a nice uniformed finish. So we're just piloting the hole. Okay, so we've piloted the holes, we've spaced them out, and now we're going to drive the brass nails in, tacks in, which don't scratch floors, wears down nice and evenly with the leather, where steel is a stronger metal, and the leather tends to wear faster than the steel, and then it becomes slippy, like you're walking on an horseshoe. There we go, all pinned down. Now we'll finish polishing off, polish the toe cap off, retrim the soles, and ink them in. Okay. Really finishes the job off if you've got the original back socks. Makes it really complete. So the trick is put this in while it's still wet.
Better than you would on that, because you're just going to catch the actual
As you can see, that just really ties everything together, finishes everything off. Just got some upper restoration to do on that, and then like I say, hopefully these laces are going to arrive later, so we can put them in. Customer wants bright red laces, so we've ordered them specially in from Trickers. But I'm really looking, that's really looking good, really good. Right guys, we've done it, we've made it. Gentleman, YouTube subscriber, has brought his bought some triggers that he's bought off eBay. Came in with a day-night sole, just like that, a little bit worn. But what we've done is we've converted them from his request to JR Rendenbach leather soles and heels, dyed them red, brass work on the back, on the nails. Also, we've made our own brass toe plates with brass screws and engraved our logo on. He wanted blue stitching on the bottom to contrast with the red, and then red stitching on the top to contrast with the uppers, which are navy. Big thank you to Danny at Trickers. Literally, they came half an hour ago, which really has finished it off. They set it off. So they're the original laces from Trickers, and that was a customer request. Tricker in sock inside. So I'm really hoping that the customer is going to be really happy with them. This project has cost £175 with the laces, and I'm really happy with how they've turned out. We've cleaned the uppers up. They look brand new. They look fantastic. So hope you've liked the second part of the video. I've really enjoyed this project. Leave your comments. I'm not very tech savvy, but I'm now getting into replying. I've started replying. I've got a lot of catching up to do, so I'll endeavour to do that. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell, and look for new projects that are coming from Ingman's. And once again, thank you very much. Thanks guys. Bye bye.